Hi everybody, it's Camille Freeman with Bloom and Grow Mentoring for Herbalists and Nutritionists. And today I want to talk to you about a question that has come up, several times in the last few weeks with practitioners who I work with. And that is, what should you do about clients who are running way over their allotted time? And of course there are a lot of reasons this could happen, from just having a wordy client to having a client who's having a very emotional experience in your room. You know, there's all kinds of different reasons this might happen, but what should you do about it? So I'm going to share with you 3 things that I have done that work really well for me, and I'd love to hear any of your comments down below also. But one thing that I like to do is tell people at the beginning of your visit, give them an idea of the structure of the visit. Most people have never seen an herbalist before or a nutritionist. They don't know what to expect. So you need to tell them. For example, I might say something like, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over what's going on for you, and then I'm going to get a little more information about your health history and some of the meds you're taking, anything like that. We're going to do that for about 20 to 30 minutes. And then after that, we'll spend about 10-15 minutes planning together, coming up with some strategies that might work for you and picking from those and deciding what we're going to do from there. And then at the end of that, there'll be some time for questions, and you can ask anything else that you need to know about. So, and then we'll wrap up by 3:30. So that way they kind of know how is this going to go, and about how long do we have to talk about this. That really helps. That cuts down on a lot of issues right there. Number 2 is, if you've done that, or maybe you forgot to do that, who knows, sometimes that happens. But if you've done that and you're noticing that, oh wow, here we are, we've been spending 20 minutes and we've only talked about one thing, or this client has gone on and on and on about something that is peripherally related, but I still need to know a few more things in order to make my recommendations. So you might say something like, oh Marla, I'm aware that this is really important, and I think we're making good progress here, and I'm aware that we've got about 5 minutes left in this visit, and I still need to find out a couple pieces of information from you about this medication that you're taking, or your digestion, whatever it is, you still need to know. So what we can do is, I'm going to write some notes down. I want to go into this more into detail in our next visit, because this is really good stuff. There's a lot to go through here. You have a lot going on. So what we're going to do, I'm going to get a few more pieces of information from you. We're going to start with some basic recommendations, and then in our next visit, we're going to refine based on what happens after this visit, and I want to hear more about, your fibroids or whatever it is that has drawn the client on. So saying something like that, I'm aware that we have 5 minutes left. Just throwing it in there, that often will rein the client in, and they realize, oh, they want to tell you this, this, and this, and they can be much more succinct if they need to. It's just easy to lose track of time. So that's another strategy. A third strategy for kind of Mayday issues is when it really gets to the end of the visit and you're like, wow, okay. A lot of times clients will have what we call door handle questions, where you're like, okay, when you're putting your file away, and they're like, oh, and one more thing I forgot to mention. I wanted to tell you. A lot of times there's some very juicy information there, and of course a lot of times you don't have very much time to go into it. So one thing that I recommend doing is have something physically outside of your office that you might need to go get. For example, a receipt, or a working pen, or something that would lead you out of the office. And then when it's towards the end of the visit, say, hold just 1 second, I need to go grab my notepad. I need to go grab that, and I'll be right back. And then when you come back, you stand at the door. And all of a sudden, instead of facing you, the client turns to face the door. And so just that actual physical movement orients them towards, it's now time to leave. And then you standing, as opposed to sitting back down at your desk, also indicates that the visit is coming to an end. So when somebody has a last minute question, you say, wow, that's really interesting. I want to talk about that at our next visit. I'm making a note here to myself. So those are 3 strategies that I have used. Of course, there's a number of other ones that we could go into a different time. But if you have anything that's worked for you, I would love to hear about it. And I also want to end by just saying that this is really hard to do, because I know a lot of us care. We care so passionately. We have a lot of empathy for our clients. And so we feel like, well, maybe I should just let them, you know, I'm gonna sit here with them. But even if you don't have somebody right afterwards, your time is valuable. And it's important to get in the habit of being in control of the visit and wrapping it up when it's time to wrap up. So practice these tips even if you don't actually have another client scheduled right away or somewhere to be. And I think that you'll find that it increases your follow-up visits, and it also sets a really good tone and a really good precedent for you as a practitioner in the future. All right, love to hear your questions. As usual, you can email me or leave a comment below. Thanks.